Hello, my Stampin' friends. How are you guys tonight? Candice Anderson coming to you live from Hiram, Utah. I'm excited to share this fun project with you tonight. Just making sure it's actually working. Give me 1 second here. And looks like it is. Thumbs up. Good. Um, just a quick shout out. The card that we are making happens to be a birthday card, and it is my son Xander's birthday today. So happy birthday, Xander. Um, and who knows, maybe you'll be getting this card in just a little bit. Actually, I have several to choose from, so we'll figure out which ones. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late today. I got busy making too many samples using this fun technique. So I am super excited to share this with you. If you remember, it is the first Monday in July, which means it is another Make It With Me Monday, meaning hopefully you're somewhere where you can grab some supplies and actually join me in making this project. If not, you'll see what we're doing and you can come back and follow along. It's actually relatively easy. So what you are going to need, I'm going to show you really quick. You are going to want some kind of a die. So I am using the Balloon Festoon dies. And I am using kind of the middle sized one that will fit nice on a regular 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card front. However, you could use, I do have another card using several different sizes. I've also made a couple of other samples using some other dies. I had one more in mind, but I ran out of time. So uh, this idea, paper piecing, I have done many times in the past. But the other couple weeks ago, we were down at Stampin' Up, and they shared this, and then they shared the little instructions. I did go a little bit differently than what they shared, but I do have the instructions. So if you place an order, I'll be happy to send out them to you. I can't do them free, but they did say we could give them out if you placed an order. So place an order, let me know that you're interested. I will get it on my blog. But anyway, we are going to switch cameras here. Hopefully, there we go. And we'll get started. So this is the instructions from Stampin' Up, their super cute card that they shared. And then this is the other card that they shared. And I did do mine similar, different colors, but still similar. And then I actually have a little bit more to share with you because I went, I guess you could say, above and beyond. So to get started, I have just my basic card. Sorry, got to take this off really quick. My card base here. And then I cut this piece to be the 4 by 5 1/4. This is going to be our background piece. And then this one here, I believe, is about, let's see, about 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. And this right here, if you've never used it before, this is some of our adhesive sheets. You do not have to have adhesive sheets to do this. You can use like the Stampin' Seal. Plus, you could use liquid glue. The sheets just make it a little bit faster and easier to do because we want this entire thing covered in what's the word I'm looking for? In adhesive, which is why we're using adhesive sheets. So we're going to put this part down. Now, one thing to consider, if you, I didn't do it on this other sample I showed you. I'm going to show you, but if you, I wish I would have, let's put it that way. So you could take this when it's still attached And we're back, hopefully, except for it's going the wrong direction. Come on. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. Back to what I was saying. Turn on my chat really quick just in case you guys are there. Um, and please, if you're joining me, say hello. Let me know where you're joining from. So all I've done is cut my paper in just little teeny tiny strips. When I do this, I don't try to make them a certain size. The instructions from Stampin' Up, I believe they did 1/4 inch. I just cut them very, very random. I don't do any kind of pattern. That's kind of what I love about uh, this particular technique, is it's completely random. I do know some people have a hard time with that. You do not have to do it completely random. As I mentioned, this part here, I just used the adhesive sheets and I attached it. But you could also take it and keep it on here and attach your pieces to this if you wanted to before you cut out your dies. So it kind of works. You could do it either or. And I'm just gonna, like I said, use the bone folder and get that down nice and strong, hopefully. And then I'm gonna peel this part off. So my whole paper is sticky, sticky, sticky. So you can do this, and this is also a really cool background. The ones I'm making today, I'm using more of the dies, but I've also All right, sorry about that. I do not know why my phone keeps freezing up on me. Uh, but hopefully it's working again. Give me a shout out if it goes off for you again. Uh, what? I know, but can you see what I'm supposed to be a teeny tiny square in the top corner. The question is can you see what I'm doing on my countertop, my desktop? Because that's what you're supposed to be seeing. I'm going to go to my Facebook and just make sure I can see it. Give me 1 second here. And I'm going to just continue putting pieces down because that's all I'm actually doing. Not sure if it caught up to where I'm at or not. Since I hit reboot. Okay, there we go. It looks like it's working. Sorry about that. Again, you didn't miss much. All I've been doing is putting little pieces of paper along my on my background here. So I thought about trying to have it somewhat done beforehand, but then I couldn't show you how I started. So you get to sit here for a minute and watch me put down paper. I guess that worked with technical difficulties here. um, but I'm starting to run out. Oh, that one is not very straight. Starting to run out of my yellow pieces here. We might have to cut some off. One of the nice things about doing it on a diagonal like this, though, is I can, maybe if I can get that one to stick down, I can go in and cut some of this off. And it will give me some more pieces to work with because I'm down to the small parts now. So then we are not wasting quite as much. I'm going to get down to the teeny tiny corner. See if I have a bigger one. Nope, we're going to do 2 small ones. And hopefully it's still working. I'm glad I'm back again. Thank you for joining. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Gotta love technology, right? And one more here. Okay, once we have all of our pieces on, I'm gonna add a little bit of glue because there's apparently no glue on that very end there for some reason. And now my glue doesn't want to come out. It does not like me today, guys. We'll see. Hopefully that stuck. There we go. So now we're going to lift this one up. Nope, it really does not want to work for me here. We're going to try this. There we go. There's a reason I want to make sure that it goes all the way to the end, even though we're die cutting this. And I'll show you in just a second. So now I'm going to grab out my cutting, whatever it's called. And we're just going to cut this down just a little bit here. We're just going to cut the edges off. We could use scissors, but I want it to be pretty straight. So I'm just going to cut the edges off really quickly. There we go. Move this out of the way, and we're going to move all of that out of the way. So now we have our piece here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our die cut and we're going to place it right on the paper, and we're going to place it kind of where we want it. And remember, we're kind of going for that angled look there. And we'll run it through the cut and emboss machine real quick. Sorry, I'm going to go over to the side. So when it comes out, you're going to end up with a fun little shaped one, and I put it too high to the top, but that's okay. I can still use that. I'll show you the card I used with that. If I had thought about it before of what I was going to do with this, I would cut this one a little bit bigger than what I ended up doing it, but that's okay. It worked okay. So now we have this cute, fun little balloon with all our little stripes on it. I've also cut out one of the little highlights. We can just glue that on to my glue. Does not want to come out for me today. It was working like 10 minutes ago. No, it really doesn't want to work. All right, we're going to see if we can grab a new one for a different one. Apparently, I need to buy some new glue. We'll go through all of them. There we go. This one wants to work for me. So we can put this on here for our little highlight on our balloon. Now we want to do something with the background here just to kind of dress it up a little bit more. So we're going to grab out our stamp set that matches the Balloon Festoon. And I'm going to use this little like ribbon, or I don't know what you want to call it. It's cute. And we're going to just stamp it in our yellow, and I'm going to stamp it across here, but I don't want it to line up like just right down below. So it's pretty easy to stamp it off to the side, and then I can stamp it and line it up. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And that way I get a variation in my ribbon there instead of it being exactly the same the whole way. All right. And one more time here. All right. And I just realized I forgot to cut my, that's okay. I have one right here. So now I'm going to grab my Azure Afternoon and our Happy Birthday. And I don't even know how big this is. Roughly about 1 inch. And we're going to stamp our Happy Birthday. And then we'll just cut it into a little tag here. All right. And now we can finish putting this all together. Add some glue here. We can put this down for our background. And I'm going to use some dimensionals. I'm going to pop this little guy up. And I've also cut out, maybe it's here somewhere, one of the little ribbons. And hopefully we can get a little bit of glue to come out. Attach that. I'm just gonna attach it, and then I can cut it off to whatever length we need it on there. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals. This one I'm going to double stack because I already stamped or jumped that one up. So I'm going to double stack it here. And we're going to go with our happy birthday. Let's cut that down just a little bit off to the side. So there we go. Quick and easy. If you want to add some embellishments, you can add some of the cute little, just add a few little of those on there. Different colors here. Now I want to show you what I did with this piece. We have this one, so I've cut out some extra little balloons and put the happy birthday here. So we have another different way that we can use that background one. And you can see I stamped this on the background and then just stamped on here. And I got these balloons from this one. So this is the other one that was similar to what Stampin' Up! Did. So on this one here, I just took my ink and went directly to it. I did the same thing with this one and just did the outside of it. So that is a bunch of fun ideas based upon the one Stampin' Up! Gave us. But now I want to share some of the other ones I made, and I'm trying to remember which ones I used for it. Let's see. The first one I used the Sunset Coast, and I thought it would be really fun to do the background, so I just did it back behind the little sailboat on there. So I thought super fun, cute way to do the background. This one would also be really fun to do in like your reds and oranges, kind of like a sunset. You can also do it so if you wanted to, instead of mixing up the colors, you could do it kind of a gradient, which would be really cool. And then the other one is part of the brand new online exclusives that came out. This is a fun Halloween one, and I used the Web of Fun, and it has the dies, and then it has the stamp set, and I made 2 different cards. So the first one, I lined up black and the 2 different grays. This is where I was saying I wish I would have kept it on this paper here instead of the white, because then I had to do sticky on there and it was much harder to cut out. I had to do it multiple times to get it to cut out. But just kind of a fun, I really loved how it added a lot of texture to that. But this one actually is the one I ended up loving even more. So this is the cutout from here of what I've got, and the stamp fits in there just perfectly. You can see that I've popped it up a little bit here, so it's a little bit 3D, and I just think it turned out so cute and fun. I just really like that. So here's a bunch of fun ideas you can use doing this technique. And like I said, you can also do this easily as a background. And I was going to do that and ran out of time. But I've also done it where it's just a background, but you can cut pretty much any kind of shape out of it. There's just a lot you can do with this fun technique. And it's a great way to use up a bunch of scraps that you might have left over. I'm going to switch cameras here again. Hello, Shannon. Thank you. I'm glad you liked them. Fun little twist on what Stampin' Up! Shared with us. And like I said, I really love this technique. It's very fun and easy to do, and there's a lot you can do with it. Thank you again for joining me. If you are looking for any of these products, remember you can shop online at stampinwithcandice.com. CandiceAnderson.stampinup.net. My blog, stampinwithcandice.com. I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes work on my blog. So hopefully everything will be up there soon, but I will be adding tutorials and a lot of other fun information. So go check it out. And thank you, Jenny. I appreciate it. Mom, thanks for joining me tonight. And I'm glad that you liked them. Again, shout out to my son. Happy birthday. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you guys all next week. Bye bye.